Hi, I'm Angela. I'm the activities coordinator for Lavender Fields Care Village, and I do all the activities, organise everything for the residents here at Lavender Fields. John is in his early 70s. He was a scientist. He has a BSc in biochemistry and a PhD in toxicology. He did research for the government on medical research. He's been with us since we opened around about a year ago now. He has deteriorated quite considerably, I would say, over the last few months. He constantly taps his hand, which is annoying for other residents and does cause some issues, but he constantly taps and has on occasions bruised his leg doing it. He struggles now with his coordination. So if we're out anywhere, I have to make sure the steps and he sees them, makes him stop so he can lift up his feet, and sometimes I have to help him lift his feet. When he's eating his food, as of late, his food needs to be cut up, and on occasions he hasn't understood what the knife and fork is for. So he is struggling on that side of things. So doing any activities now are very difficult for John because he doesn't understand how to do things. He doesn't understand to put his hand onto things and touch things and move things, so his coordination is quite bad.
John has been recently shown signs of repetitive hands movement, such as slapping or shaking his hands, which may suggest a mixture of boredom or sensory seeking or attempts to self-regulate himself in ways that are not always helpful for his well-being. We also noticed signs of reduced coordination between his left side and his right side, and some difficulties in using both hands or in alternative ways, in a purposeful way. And these are all common signs of executive function that become more affected by dementia. After observing John and his hands movement, I created this music-based exercise that aimed to stimulate different areas of the brain that are evolving, for example, in planning, in sequencing, in coordination and emotion regulation, particularly through the rhythm and the repetition of the rhythm. You will see that during the exercise, sometimes I hold one of John's hands and offering clear sensory input that can support John's engagement in more structured and meaningful activity. The first activity with the drum, in the first activity I ask him to hold the beat of the drumstick, one for each hand. And then while holding one of his hands, I ask John to beat the drum with just the right hand first and then the left hand. And then at the end of the exercise, when the muscle learned again how to do this movement, I will ask him to play with both hands on the drum. The main goal of the drumming activity is to support coordination between both hands and to reduce repetitive motor habits. These activities is very important because it stimulates bilateral coordination and supports the interhemispheric communication of the brain, which can be impacted in dementia. And also rhythmic input can help with regulation of motor patterns and can reduce this repetitive behavior over time. For the second exercise, we use the xylophone. We use all the special awareness around the xylophone, and the main goal of this exercise is to encourage lateral movement across the midline of the body, and that can support attention, sequencing and coordination. The lateral movement activate regions of the brain that are involved in spatial planning and motor sequences for people with dementia, and these guided actions can help maintain a sense of urgency, reduce agitation, and support more integrated motor responses. Some tips while we are doing this exercise will be always to give visual prompts. So you will see that sometimes I either do the exercise with him, or I will use my hands to sign where I want John to play on the xylophone. So I can tap, or I can hold his hands, or I can show him where on the xylophone I want him to play. Pauses are okay, so allow time to to responses, and also when we do good, it's always good to have some sort of encouragement. These activities are supposed to be quite short, enjoyable, and quite flexible. They are all exercise. They are linked to parts of our brain, so they need to have skills and stimulation to our brain. But the most important thing is the connection and our presence in the room, and our sincere connection with John or with any other residents. And even a small moment of engagement can have a massive impact in John's well-being and any other residents' well-being.